and welcome back to the third episode of The Sound of Healing. And today I'm really excited because I have Kim Fredriksen here with me from Tucson, Arizona. And Kim is a registered nurse, a certified transformational coach, and a certified sound practitioner. So let me tell you a little bit about Kim. As a dedicated and compassionate registered nurse, certified transformational coach, and certified sound practitioner, Kim has merged the worlds of traditional healthcare and holistic wellness to empower individuals towards holistic healing and personal transformation. With 24 years of experience of being a labor and delivery and postpartum nurse, she became frustrated with the sick care model of healthcare and started on a learning journey of the connection between the mind, body, and spirit to support the healing process. She supports her patients with empathy and a commitment to promoting wellness. In addition to her nursing expertise, Kim is an NLP certified transformational coach. She helps individuals realize their full potential and creates meaningful shifts by empowering them to overcome obstacles, set and achieve goals, and to awaken their true self through the modalities she works with, which tap into the subconscious mind. Through doing her coaching work, Kim also discovered the healing power of sound and vibration to promote balance, relaxation, and inner harmony. She currently does monthly sound baths with various instruments. And as a facilitator of sound healing, she certifies others in the fundamentals of sound healing, as well as playing crystal bowls, Tibetan bowls, and tuning forks. Kim is deeply passionate about holistic wellness and personal growth, and she is committed to supporting individuals on their journey of holistic healing and empowerment. So, what a beautiful bio, Kim. And it's a pleasure to have you here today. So I am so excited to talk to you because you've had so much experience, 24 years in the traditional medical field, and now you're doing something a little bit different. Or is it an enhancement? Is it a new direction? Is it an add-on? What direction are you taking here?
It's kind of I really want a new direction. Like we were kind of talking about in my bio, I just I just feel like in the medical world, there's just, doctors aren't really helping patients. They're just kind of, here, take a pill, this will get rid of that. They just don't really address the problems. And maybe just because they're overwhelmed with everything. But as a nurse working in that field, it's frustrating, because we have so many patients that we have to take care of, and they just can't get the care that they need or even the education that they need. So yeah, I definitely am just kind of want to get out of that. And I found this other new passion and passions. And so, yeah, I would love to just keep with my transformational, nurse coaching, and then also the sound healing. That was quite the surprise for me. I don't know how, it just kind of fell into my lap by buying a little Tibetan bowl. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, well, getting back to the nursing field and the traditional medical field, you talk about the sick care model. So I think I understand what you mean, but can you just elaborate on that for our listeners?
Yeah, just it's like the doctors aren't trying to, let's say you have a weight problem, and it's like, well, just, you go into the doctor, they don't really give you that much education on what you can do. Sometimes they'll say, go to a nutritionist, but they're not really like helping the situation by not giving education, or, they're just like, here, take this pill. Kind of like for your blood pressure, they're not saying, they might say, well, you need to lose weight. Well, it's not that easy, so I think just they just don't have time for them, especially in the hospital. I see a lot of things that like are really frustrating, and
right.
The patients are just very uneducated.
Right. And as a nurse, can you speak to this this mind, body, and spirit connection, and what that has to do with illness, with sickness, what you've seen in your years of practice?
Yeah, I mean, actually, when I was first a nurse, I worked in a cancer treatment center, and they were pretty holistic for, that was a long time ago, probably 23 years ago, 24. Um, and they just like, they did like nutritional stuff. They definitely were like in with the mind and body. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, just I don't see the hospitals going in that direction. I mean,
Right. I have a personal experience with that. A couple of years ago, my husband had lymphoma, so he was going through chemotherapy for several months. He would, go into the hospital for a week, and then he'd be home for 3 weeks, go in again 6 times over the period of summer. And I remember, I'm very interested in holistic practices, of course. I'm doing this podcast, Reiki, and I also feel like nutrition plays a big part in it. So I did my best to talk to his doctors, but there was just no, they wouldn't validate anything in particular. Even when I had the hospital dietitian come in, basically they're in her mind, he could eat everything. She recommended, here's what you can have for dessert. Here's cakes and pies and everything. And yet, all my reading was showing me that sugar helped give life to cancer cells. So so I found that very incongruous and really really puzzling. But I just didn't feel like the hospital he was in had that same level of uh, interest in holistic treatment, and I thought that was pretty sad, you know?
yeah, I figure 24 years ago, that hospital, and it's still around. I think it's called Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Yeah.
And yeah, they really were doing good work, um, very good to their employees, and they definitely were on that level. But yeah, as far as any other hospitals, no, I
What do you
think they,
think it will take for, hospitals and the medical field to start looking at these connections between, you know, the mind and the body?
maybe they'll just, it'd be nice if they'd start teaching the newer doctors this stuff. But I just think maybe through all of us going out and promoting like what we know, and just trying to tell people one on one, maybe it'll spread. I mean, yeah,
Right.
it's hard with the medical field, but
Mhm.
I think the I think like big pharma runs the world, so they don't want anything natural
Right, right.
to help
So
us.
so it sounds like your first discovery was transformational coaching, right?
Yeah.
And so you get into that. Can you tell me more about what you try to do with your clients in transformational coaching?
So a lot of it's just like, we have 10% of our body from here up is our conscious mind. And that's, just what we do day to day. Like, I'm this old and this is my day to day and this is how I'm doing it. But the 90% from like here down, neck down, is that's your unconscious mind, and it holds like every memory, every thought, everything said to you, everything you've ever said, everything from your past, and it stores it in your body. So what happens is, as we get older, we have all these things that are stored in our body that are like negative beliefs about ourselves from either the way we grew up as children, and any of that, any of the bad things that we had, during our lifetime up to that point. And so I just think a lot of things just come up, and it really holds a lot of people back. So a lot of the things I do, like I have it's called a quantum change process, and I took my training through Avalon Empowerment, and they're great. Like they do some great things. And they're in Canada, but the QCP, as I call it, is a forgiveness. And so it's like, you have to learn to forgive people, or it's like you're taking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Mm.
So I take them through a process of just like finding out what people that I do muscle testing. So like, like if I asked you like, hold your arm out, and I'm going to say, you say your eye color is brown. Is that what eye color you have?
Hazel, actually, but yeah.
Okay, so you could say, I have hazel eyes. Well, your body's going to know, and you will be very strong with this. So it's like kinesiology. But if you say my eyes are purple, more than likely your body knows that's not true, and it's going to like go down. So I kind of do that with the people that come up that have been problems in someone's life. Usually as the mother, father that you definitely have to forgive something for. And then I just take them through their time of people that they've had issues with. And then we go and we just, I talk with them, and I let them tell me like, you made me feel, and, you made me feel this way. And just, get out all of the bad things that they ever did to them, and actually say like, I forgive you for. And so you go through this process with each person, and at the end you kind of realize like, well, that person that you're forgiving, probably the way that they projected onto you was what happened to them as a child. So it's kind of, it's kind of different, but yeah, so we just go through all that, and then usually they're crying or, whatever. I know I did when I did mine. um it's just very releasing. And actually after I did mine, I felt like a weight was lifted. I wasn't angry with everybody anymore, and it just hit different. Like I didn't get triggered by things as much from people like that. So yeah, it's a very cool thing. And then I also do like a timeline therapy. So, I try to take the charge off of like anger, sadness, grief, just just fear and shame. And you just go through this timeline. I take you up and above your timeline and just go back to a point where you first experienced that, and you kind of drop down into the situation. And yeah, it's like you go in and you're just kind of forgiving yourself and forgiving, like, just not letting that charge be on you the rest of your life, because then you're just living in the past all the time. You're not going to live, ever go forward in your life with all of these bad things. Hopefully
Right.
that explained it.
Yeah, I think it's a really powerful thing to be able to walk people through the process, to be able to, experience these things and be aware of the things that are holding them back emotionally, but in a good way. So many people don't allow themselves to even go there, and
And
just
it's a very gentle process. So it's nothing like harsh, and it's all like loving, and, just trying to help yourself so that
Mhm.
you're not just constantly like thinking, just kind of building that person up, and, that you're not that person, and you need to let go of some of these beliefs.
Right. So we're letting go of things to help ourselves, right?
Mhm.
To release the power that someone has had over us,
Yes.
basically. I think maybe not necessarily excusing poor behavior if someone has been abusive to us or something like that, but not allowing that to affect us anymore is that act of forgiveness. Am I right?
Right. Yeah. Because it's poison to us, just constantly thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard to move past, right? So if you can't move past, where are you living? In the past. And you're just always going to have those thoughts, and that's always going to hold you back
Right. Right.
fulfilling anything that you want to do in life.
Mhm. Do you see sound healing as being able to do something similar?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like for me, like it's just empowering. I don't know. I like just even playing myself, and I just like have such a passion to like show the world. I mean, I'm having a sound bath tomorrow, and I'm just really excited. And I'm pretty sure everyone has never been to one, so it's always exciting because it just opens their world to just something cool. And I do try to put it in there like as empowering, and I like to do like goddess circles and, stuff like that, to where like it's just empowering. And hey, what's today? Today's International Women's Day, right?
Right.
This is cool. Yeah. So I
Yes.
just I just want to help as many people as I can, just to feel good about themselves, and know that there's something that they can do about their mind, and just not
Mhm.
to store so many traumas, because it's just awful. It's awful for people.
Right. Right. So I think sound healing definitely helps with peace of mind and peace in general. We also know that sound healing does affect the body and relaxes the central nervous system, right? And as a nurse, would you like to speak on that? Because I think it's a great alternative to popping a pill, or using a substance
Well,
for
right. I mean, we have, the entrainment of the sounds. Like, if your body is in a state of disease, um, it just, the sounds and the vibrations are gonna just entrain your body, and it's gonna just get back on track of what your vibration inside should be. So I always think of like, if you have stomach issues, it's probably, related to something in your body is just not, your vibrations are just not good there. They're off from the rest of your body. And so to entrain that and to get all of your vibrations synced up, it's just, all the reading I've done too is that it really does like heal your body.
Right. It's interesting when you said dis-ease, and I thought about that, and it's really the lack of ease in your body, right?
Right.
Dis-ease. So what we're trying to do as sound healers is create ease in the body, in the various parts of the body, so that the body can basically bring itself back to balance, to
Right.
healing. I mean, I have a conviction that our bodies do want to heal themselves.
Yeah.
Um, and what have you seen as a nurse, in that regard? Because I know when we enter a hospital, we are pretty dependent on, the medical practice, and of course, we have to be grateful for all the technology and all the knowledge that's there, and the wonderful medical staff. But I think they can only do so much if somebody, either their body is not able to heal itself, or mentally they don't want to be healed. What do you think about that? Just a
Well,
thought.
I mean, I do labor and delivery, so like, usually I'll see mostly healthy patients.
Yeah.
But over time, like I remember when I first started nursing, we never had sick patients. I mean, it was like very rare that we would have like the high blood pressures and the preeclampsia and big babies and diabetes, like gestational diabetes. There is so much of it now. And, unfortunately, I work in Tucson hospital, like in the city. And, there's a lot of like meth and all kinds of stuff going around, which obviously we know that's not going to help any situation. But I just, I don't know. I just feel like the population has gotten so unhealthy. And I actually stopped doing labor and delivery because it's just like everybody's sick. Like all these pregnant women are coming in sick, and somehow that's affecting their baby. I mean, whether, their placenta is not working right, they have to, their blood pressures are so high that they could have seizures and all the medications we put them on. And it's just, but I don't see anything coming out of it, like how where can they get more information? Or is it just the population as a general population problem? Like everybody's just eating terrible food, stressed out, trying to work all these jobs, and then, try to still have a baby. I can't even imagine, because it does affect the baby, like in the womb. And it's like, I can't imagine, like, with all of this, like how everyone's just going to keep turning out,
Mm.
as life goes on, because they're not, yeah, it's sad, really.
So you're saying 24 years ago, you felt like people were healthier in general. and you
Yeah.
can
I
go through.
mean, mentally wise, like I remember it was very rare that we would have anyone on like an antidepressant or anti-anxiety. And it's just, I feel like every single patient has those issues.
Mm,
Why, you know? And I try to talk to the doctor sometime and be like, why are things so different? Why is like there's such emergencies all the time in labor and deliveries, bad things trying to happen. And, maybe they're trying to rush the babies out, like by giving Pitocin and like not letting the body do it naturally. But women are bigger and they're having these huge babies and that, brings on complications with them trying to come out.
mm,
Get shoulder
mm,
dystocia, so they could get stuck in there and coming out. So yeah, it's just I just feel like there's so much illness. Like
right.
I have a lot of illness.
Yeah. Have you ever done sound healing with somebody who is pregnant?
I have not. I know I've kind of read up on it and I get like mixed, obviously don't put bowls on them. Um, I do know one of the um, big Instagram girls. She's pregnant right now, and I know she plays all the time. So I don't know. Maybe who knows?
Right.
I don't know. I haven't read enough saying that it's totally safe, but I
Yeah.
guess mostly with putting things on the body. So I don't know. I would think like with them being relaxed and in that relaxing environment, maybe further back in the group and just enjoying being relaxed would help them. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's a
Well,
different.
I was pregnant with my first daughter, and that was about 29 years ago at this point. And at that point, I was playing in an orchestra, and I remember being quite pregnant, probably 8 months pregnant,
Yeah.
and playing in a symphony. I think we were doing Beethoven's Fifth, and the timpani were right in back of me, and I was thinking, "Oh boy, I hope this is this is going to be okay for her." But actually, came out actually just fine and quite musical, and as it turns out, and and everything. So,
I think because it's newer here, that it's
right,
coming up newer. I mean, I know it's old from way back, but newer for all of us that, it's just the not knowing. So
right.
maybe you're just being safe by saying don't
Mhm.
let pregnant women. But yeah, yeah, I think if one came in, I would just be like, just ask your doctor and, just
Yeah,
have them sign a form.
right, right. So, in your mind, who do you think can benefit from sound healing? Can people benefit from it if they aren't aware of emotional things that they need to release? I mean, do you have to know it, that stuff? Can you come to a sound healing session and have, you know, experience the
Oh,
benefits?
well, yeah, I think that, when I've gone to some also, I do notice at least a couple of people are usually, like, crying and tearing up, so I do think it brings up some things, and I know it happened to my sister, we went to one together, to check out someone close by, and I don't it was yeah, she definitely like, feelings do come up, and that's good, and it's good to hold that space for them, you know, and be able to talk with them. And I
Mhm.
guess I think that's why everyone thought I was crazy by just being a coach and then doing this. But I'm like, no, it works together. I mean, I can feel comfortable telling them things, that's going to help them.
Well, I think there's the teaching, there's the education, and I know we've talked about NLP before, kind of resetting the mind and learning to think in a different way. But then
Right.
I think adding a practice to it, like sound healing or something which is immersive and sort of experiential is definitely a bonus,
Yeah.
um, because you're getting really the best of both worlds. You're uh, working on your thought patterns and limiting beliefs in one
Yeah.
way, but then you're actually having a time where you can make space for that to really be internalized, all the things you've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now tell me a little bit about, you said you work with tuning forks.
Yes. Um,
Tell me about
so
that.
right now I just have the chakra ones, the chakra tuning forks, and I also try to add more things to my business. So I have this crystal heated mat that has tourmaline and jade on it. Heat that puppy up and have someone lay on it. And I was like, well, that's just kind of boring. I mean, it's relaxing for them because I love it. But I wanted to do a meditation, and so I do have a chakra meditation. And then as I'm going through the different chakras, I use the corresponding tuning fork with it, and I can put them. They're weighted, so I put them on their body, and that's very cool. I mean, I think everyone enjoys that. But now I've been getting into the biofield tuning and reading up on that, and um, it's real interesting to find out, like by reading the book, that you can actually with certain tuning forks, and I think they're the unweighted, but you can, your biofield is out probably like 5 feet from you. And so apparently each, like the very last layer is like from a long time ago. So like it's like a tree, like you have different layers, and then like here's us now. But I guess you can like hit the tuning fork and you can almost hear like it's just like not tuned if it runs into something on part of your body, which very fascinating to me.
Mm.
I'm just like, yeah, I'm totally getting into that now, but like, I just need to focus on my business for a little bit. But like, yeah, I definitely am very like involved in the energetics, and just my mom got diagnosed with Lewy body dementia a couple of years ago, and she is 17 years older than me, so I'm very like worried about my own health. And so then that's why I kind of decided a year and a half ago to get healthy. I lost 65 pounds, and like my cholesterol is great. I was always on blood pressure meds, just from working nursing and night shift is just terrible for your body. So I finally did that. And now I'm just like, how can I like benefit somebody with the things that we do with sound?
Mhm.
So very interested in that. And I think that's going to become a passion of mine too. But
Right.
yeah.
I'm wondering if has your mother ever experienced, sound healing? Have you
Yeah.
noticed?
Yeah. We'll bring, because we practice on her, me and my sister.
Mhm.
So yeah, she loves meditation, which now we're finding out that meditation is just so key for your brain. And so I do meditations a lot with her, and she usually just falls asleep, which that's fine. But gosh, if they could ever come up with something later so this yicky Alzheimer's and dementia goes away, I mean, it's devastating.
Right, right. And have you ever brought your tuning forks or samples into the hospital setting and use them with your patients, or would that be taboo, not allowed? Or
Yeah, you'd probably actually, I think I was telling you that I did talk to my boss this week when I was at work, and I said, hey, can you talk to the NICU team and the managers? Because I said I really would love to do like sound bowls, and like come in for free, or volunteer and just play in the NICU, and I did copy some articles. It sounds like it's very promising because they have a lot of stress in there and noises from the like machines, and I think that would really help. So one of the places that I work, it's a different one in a different, it's in Phoenix. They already use some sort of sound therapy. It's not bowls, but I think they sing to the babies and just some other different things. But I think she's like really excited, and she's going to talk with them. And then I'm just hoping that maybe, hey, let's get my hospital on board with me doing sound baths for the coworkers, like all of them, because that's just going to be very healing to them too. We have a lot of stress in the hospital, and everybody's burnt out and too many patients. And yeah,
right.
so I think it benefits all around.
Well, I know that in some hospice care they'll use music therapy, and I don't know about sound therapy, but kind of as a transition, as people are passing away. So it kind of makes sense as they enter the world that it would also be this nice, peaceful journey. I mean, I'm thinking, what would it be like to be just born and hearing these machines and all this technology? You would wonder what
Like,
just happened, dramatic,
I
Yeah.
know when I was in Illinois, when I lived there, we did a lot of circumcisions on babies, and I would actually take my phone and I would play music. I did Taylor Swift,
Oh,
back when she was more country.
yeah.
And I would play that, and the babies just did so much better. And so
Oh,
actually doctors started asking like, "Hey, let's have some music on for them." So I did see that was cool, and I just thought of that now, which is funny,
wow.
but so yeah, I guess I do think it really calmed them down because as soon as they heard her voice, they were like, they just stopped crying. So yeah, it was cool.
That's interesting. Wow. So, yeah, we get the music in there, little bits, whenever we can, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, what are your plans for the future, and what would you like to uh, see happen as far as your business or future plans?
Yeah, I'm just right now, kind of introducing sound healing, and there's not that many in my community that even know what it is. I was surprised at work the other day. I was talking with all the girls, they're younger, and nobody knew what sound baths were, let alone, crystal bowls and all that. So I'm just shocked at that. But I don't think we're as forward as like Phoenix or California with all that stuff. So I'm very excited to like bring it here, and I just want to keep going on that business to where, I can get out of nursing. Plus I'm working 12-hour shifts and I'm getting older. So, that's very tiring for me.
Right.
And just dealing with sicker patients. I think I'm just done and I want to get out there and help another way, like so with the coaching and hopefully some of the sound patients I get and then kind of say what other modalities I do and just somehow work in all of the things that I know and
Yeah,
just
there are
do.
so many applications for sound healing or sound therapy. We can call it whatever we like, but a lot of people, will say, "Well, oh, I did that. I was in Hawaii at a spa, and they had that, and I went to a sound bath." And that's the way they think of it, and that's fine. I mean, as far as relaxation, spa, but gosh, I think of how it could benefit mental health patients, or just recovery patients, or hospital settings. There's so many ways that it could be used. So I think we're really just at the beginning of hopefully seeing it grow in importance and in popularity. Now, I know you've been involved in Sound Healers Business Accelerator program with Becca Laredo, uh, and I'd like to ask you about that just a little bit, because there are a lot of sound healers out there, a lot of people out there, but there really isn't a regulated agency right now in sound therapy. And do you see that as a good thing or as a problem? You know,
Um, do I see like regulated or unregulated a problem?
unregulated.
Yeah, because I mean, I definitely I mean, the only other thing I've done life-changing energy to like do some of my courses with, but they were all online and you don't get all the I mean, you can get certified, but like you don't have that back and forth like with Becca, it's like she's just great. Like she just has a knowledge of wealth and she really like is so good at what she does on really helping you with the whole aspect of how you're running your business, teaching you how to play, which that's already improved my game. I think before when I started, I'm just gonna do these, which that's okay. You can do them intuitively, but like I feel more confidence now that I'm learning how to play them to where they sound better and to actually put notes together It's yeah, but yeah, I think it's a problem if just people don't know what they're doing, and I just think there's so much out there now class-wise, like, gosh, it's crazy what all you can buy.
Yeah.
And I would say they're not all that great because I have bought a lot of things, and most of the time they just sit in the inbox, right? But
Yes.
I am one of those that gets excited and it just sits there, but I did think long and hard on hers, and I just said, I really want that business part of it, how to get myself out there and just do that and make a business of it because I want to get out of what I'm doing. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So if people are interested in finding out more about you, how they can find you, how they can work with you, we have some, obviously the introduction slide has your information on it, but is there anything else you'd like to share about that?
Yeah, I mean, I do have a web page. So it's innerwarriorempowerment.com. And then just, yeah, on social media, it's okay to just contact me through there.
So do you offer a course or is it individual coaching
No,
sessions?
I do have a workshop I do, but I kind of plan that out because I need, people to come to it. So I do have it's called Awaken Your True Self workshop.
Mhm.
And it's like about an 8-hour workshop, and it's really good. It really helps people get to the bottom of their stuff,
Right.
but in a group setting. And then I also, offer like couples coaching. It's like a 6-week breakthrough. So like I work with each person individually and then bring them together, and then also one-to-one.
Mhm.
And then I also do, like I said, the sound healing with, Tibetan bowls or tuning forks or just at their house, wherever I'm having it.
Right. Yeah,
Just out there.
that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and it was so fascinating to talk to you. Someone who's been in the medical field for so many years, and just to get your perspective on sound healing,
Yeah.
and also on the medical field and some of the limitations there that you've encountered.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Thank you.
we wish you well, and we'll post this and also post your website and your information so that people can get in touch with you.
Okay.
So,
All right.
okay,
Well,
so
thank you
much.
for taking
Okay,
time with me.
thank you.
Okay.